Don't say it.
Oh,
Don't say it.
PCS.
God damn it!
LCS.
What the hell, man? We're literally both. You're sitting with two former LCS players. You're gonna say that to our face right here. What's up, everyone? I'm Dom, and I'm joined by Sneaky and Yankos, and this is Pick'em, the show where we break down worlds and debate our picks. Today, we're going to start off with what play-ins teams are going to advance into the group stage. Anyone want to chime in?
Well, I guess I can start then. The easy picks would be probably RNG and Hanwha Life. I always have a problem with their name. I often say Havana Life for some reason. I don't know why. We
Yeah,
have
they're
the
from Cuba,
fourth
man.
seed from Korea and fourth seed from China. And then, well, I think these are easy bets. They are in the same group though, so we might have some fun games between these two teams. I think this is probably the most worth it or the most watchable games that you can have in play-ins. I assume that in the other group, for example, we will have Cloud9 fighting for their lives and hopefully making spicy as well. But I assume that Cloud9 will most likely be the first seed, unless, because you probably watch more of an A, you can tell me something else about it.
Well, I mean, I guess what I would say around Group B, at least, is that Cloud9 is not like the best of one team. I mean, they dropped a bunch of best of ones in summer, and then they also lost a best of one to Dead Nation Focus Me. We've been talking about the Blabber Crab meme forever. That game actually happened against the Japanese team in MSI. So I think that, it could be tough because if you just lose one best of one against Dead Nation Focus Me, you could just end up as the third seed and then be forced to fight either LNG or Hanwha Life in a best of five.
it kind of did happen where like it kind of looked like they might get upset in that same way that you just described, Dom.
Yeah, at the same time though, I feel like, I do have a lot of trust in Perix Light. I played with him for a long time, and I feel like he's the type of player who could lead his team to not be boosted during Worlds. Not that it happened to us before, it's just,
Yeah.
I believe Cloud9 can show how good they can be. Making it out of play-ins would be the least they can do, since there is a very high chance they will make it into Group A afterwards, which is the killer group, which I don't think Rogue or Cloud9 could make it out from. But at least in play-ins, like you mentioned, right? If they lose a BO1 against the Detonation Focus Me, or maybe a team like Unicorns of Love, right? But yeah, besides Cloud9, assuming that they would make it out, who do you think would be the fourth team?
Ooh. I guess the easy one is just saying Beyond Gaming, right? Because they won a best of five against PSG, and then they also are coming out of PCS, so they should be relatively strong. Doggo popped off at MSI, so I think the easy pick is just saying Beyond Gaming, Cloud9, LNG, Hanwha Life, but that's just not interesting, man.
I think we should choose something else. Yeah, I think at least me, I'm from Europe, right? So I will not put as much trust to the PCS. I would go more forward Unicorns of Love or the Turkish spot, Galataxi. Oh my God, this name is so hard to read.
Yeah, that's
Galatasaray
No, look.
Esports.
Galatasaray, there's no point of learning their name until they make it to group stage. I said it before, if they make groups, we'll learn their name. If not, they'll just be the Turkish team.
Yeah, I agree. I don't think Detonation will be able to win a best of five versus one of the teams. Also, placing highly in that group is pretty hard, considering all the teams.
Okay, so next up, we are going to rank the regions from weakest to strongest coming into Worlds. We have LCK, LPL, LEC, LCS, and PCS. So, yeah, I guess we'll start with Yankos. What is your ranking of these five regions?
Okay. I think this is quite simple, right? I think I would put LPL first, just because I think from LPL we have the strongest teams. I think both EDG and FPX look really good in playoffs, and I think these are the two teams that we were as G2 watching the most to learn from. So I would put them first, and then RNG also won MSI, which should put extra, I guess, bonus points to that region. Then we have LCK, which is Damwon, and pretty much only Damwon. I'm not sure how Hanwha Life will do. They will probably make it to group stage, but I feel like Chowi is really good. But besides that, we will see how the team goes. I never really was a strong and firm believer of Gen G, so I can't say that they will do so well. They also got smashed by G2 last year, 3-0.
Didn't even have to land a
Who was
spear
that?
to beat them. It was crazy.
That is true. I was ambulance Nidali and it still worked. And then I had a pretty strong Sylas, to be honest, though. And then, SKT. So I like Faker, so I will say that SKT should be strong, and I would put SKT even in my top 4 list at teams at Worlds. So yeah, first LPL, then we have, I think LCK, then we have LAC, then we have
Don't say it.
Oh,
Don't say it.
PCS.
God damn it!
LCS.
What the hell, man? We're literally both. You're sitting with 2 former LCS players. You're gonna say that to our face right here?
yeah. I mean, for my ranking, I think it's pretty similar. I put LPL number 1, and then LCK, LEC, but I would put LCS number 4 over PCS. I believe what happened to MSI was a fluke. I don't believe that PSG was actually as good as they showed, especially
Me
considering,
neither.
yeah, like their sub situation was so weird. Like that's happened. I think it happened 2020 Worlds as well.
Yeah,
as
they had
MSI.
like Kongyu as the jungler, I believe. He was like playing Echo and shit. It was kind of crazy.
Yeah, didn't they have 2 subs?
Yeah,
I don't know.
their
It
mid lane was a sub too. Yep.
Yeah, it was so weird. But yeah, like they did well with their subs. I don't believe that's actual strength of just definitively being better than LCS, because I feel like historically LCS has done pretty decently, at least going even with PCS. Well, it was like LMS before, right?
So that's decently.
Yeah.
When is the last time
Decent for
you
us.
guys-
All right, shut up.
Okay, yeah, that makes sense.
I say decently because I recall times where like Flash Wolves, I don't know, I feel like they beat TL or something in one of the groups. I don't know. They've usually looked pretty scary in groups because they're like number 1 seeds, but yeah, I don't know. I also recall beating them myself as well.
Yep.
So,
Wasn't that like the 60-minute Lee Sin Meteos game?
yep, that's one of them.
There it is, baby. The
One
Lee
of those
Sin
games.
one.
Yep.
Yep. I guess my take. So the way that I would go is I'm also gonna go LPL, LCK, LEC. But where I'm gonna differ is the LCS over PCS, and this is the way I'm gonna justify it. All right. The region is not defined by the strongest team. If Damwon wins, it doesn't mean Korea is a stronger region than China. It's the average level of all the teams that are competing. So I'd say that from LCS, we have a higher average level of skill. I feel like PCS is pretty much PSG, and then
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
I guess
I
Beyond
can agree
Gaming
with that.
is not like, I don't know. I mean, I guess they did beat PSG in a best of 5, but I just don't have too much experience with them. I don't know if they're actually legit or not, but my overall take is that I think that LCS is a better region than PCS. At least I hope so. So that's where we're
Same.
going. Which team is your crystal ball pick? And what we're going to define the crystal ball pick as is which team do you think right now is your favorite to win Worlds?
So I'm gonna go with FPX. My chat does not believe in teams when that much.
Yeah,
when I ask them.
I mean, they mainly watch LCS, so that's probably the reason.
Yeah.
So.
Well, I don't know. I have some late night viewers. Like they check
true.
out some games.
It's true.
Yeah.
It's true.
So I'll go with FPX. I mean, I don't know. Like otherwise, it's like Damwon. I mean, it's really easy to pick like the number 1 seeds from each region, but FPX is a pretty interesting choice, being 2nd seed.
So I would say I also wanted to say FPX because watching the finals, I felt like EDG or rather FPX would throw a lot of games. Well, they are not the number 1 team, but I would say FPX, as the 2nd LPL team or seed rather. RNG, I don't. Even though they won MSI, I think winning MSI doesn't mean you have to win Worlds. I would know.
G2 East win MSI 2019.
And
Weird
flex, I
flex.
know.
Yeah, a little bit weird.
But yeah, I just don't believe they can like improve as much. And EDG, I feel like the jungler is so like JJ. I think he became so much better than he used to be. So I have like more trust in him. But yeah, I would still go with Tian. Tian schooled me back in the day, and Doinby is always playing really well. And I feel like Nuguri is probably the best top laner still out there. So yeah, I would just give it to FPX, and runner-ups would be Damwon. So pretty much Group A teams.
Damn. All right, I'm gonna spice it up here. I'm gonna go with a 3rd seed in RNG.
Wow.
I mean,
really?
I would say FPX, but if we go 3 FPX, it's kind of cringe. So I'm gonna go with RNG mainly because I think they're super underrated as a team. People see them that they got 3rd seed and they just immediately like discredit them. They think that they just played poorly, but in reality, like the whole MSI like hangover thing where they weren't able to practice, they started summer split 1-5, so it really like hurt their standing going into playoffs. They lost 1 best of 5 in playoffs, and that was it, and then they're just out. I think that they're actually really good. I think Xiaohu is going to have a super good time. Generally, when I look at Worlds, I think that there's a lot of like weak top laners going. When you look at like Korea, I mean, Kana, Morgan, Rascal, like it's just not in the same tier as the LPL tops that Xiaohu had to play to get here, like Bin and Breathe. And yeah, I don't know. I have a lot of confidence in Xiaohu. I mean, the one person that you don't have confidence in on RNG would be like Cryan. He's just really an enabler. He's playing Galio, TF, Ryze, like all these types of picks and just trying to get his team ahead. But if he can keep his shit together, I believe that RNG can be a strong contender. I could see them winning Worlds just like the other 2 LPL teams in Dom 1. So that's going to be my pick. I'm going to say RNG.
If I'm a realist and no copium involved, I would say RNG will make it as the 1st seed like you just did. But if there's a little bit of copium, just like a little bit of copium, I think it's possible that Fnatic will make it as the 1st seed from the group. Or at least make it out. But they can do it, you know. I believe in Fnatic. And also in Mala. I'm a firm believer in Europe. I think they can do well.
Yeah, I mean, maybe if RNG just doesn't prep, they don't ban TF, you know, maybe Fnatic will just win the game in like 12 minutes.
Happened, yeah. Some tier bans will be needed against that team, probably, yeah.
Yeah, for sure. But yeah, that's my crystal ball pick. We're going to go RNG, just spice it up. That's all from us for now. Don't forget to subscribe to this channel for more Worlds action and hit up loesports.com to show us how you pick them. See you all again for the group stage.